Hello, this is Dr. Paul Cottrell, and I'm going to be talking about another three-dimensional protein structure that I created in Swiss model. All right, so to lay the foundation, I did a first video about SARS-CoV, which was the original SARS back in 2003, 2005, and talked about the P shuttle vector and how to make the adenovirus vaccine. So this structure here is the UK variant, B.1.1.7, all right? And to lay the foundation, I created a model that is the spike protein monomer, okay? Just one of three pieces of the spike protein, and this is the base. This is the comparative, what we'll call the baseline. This baseline is the data that's in the NCBI website that has the protein structure or the protein sequence in the database, took that and put it into Swiss model and used a template based on the 7C8.1.8 template. And all of my protein folding will be based off of that template, the 7CN8.1.A template. So I'm using the same template to fold all the proteins for the spike protein, and I am using this structure that's on the screen right now as the comparative to be able to compare. This is the baseline based on the NCBI website, which this structure was data banked, I believe, mid-July last year. So because it was data banked in mid-July of last year, some of the mutations are already in this, but I have to start from somewhere. So I'm going to use this as my baseline monomer for the spike protein to compare all the variants, the UK variant, the South African, the New York variant, the California, all of them that seem to be worrisome. So what is interesting here is this is the three-dimensional structure. This is using a ribbon, and this is one of the spike protein binding sites for the ACE2 receptor. So this is the core down at the bottom of the spike protein monomer. Then there's a binding site up at the top, on the left and on the right. They're different, but they act in tandem. So this is the base. So I want to show you what's the difference between the baseline monomer and the UK variant. And the majority of it is here. The majority of this is here. And I'll turn it on and off so you can see the differences. You see how the protein folding is different. All right, maybe, okay, I'll show it here. Okay, I'm turning off the baseline model and I'm turning it back on. So what's on the screen right now is the UK variant. What's on the screen now is the baseline compared to the UK variant. So you can see that there are two loops that are substantially different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to render the base molecule. This is the base molecule that's in the NCBI website. This is the actual UK variant. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color of the UK variant. Edit color palette by molecule. Okay, so what we're going to do, what I just did was change the color. So here you can see that we're at one of the ACE2 receptor areas of the spike protein monomer, which is the S1 subunit. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn off the UK model, okay, and turn it back on. And you can see that there are areas that are different. There's some overlap, a lot of overlap, but there are some key differences, especially in the areas of the loop. So here, in this area, you can see that substantial difference in you can see that there is something missing in the center on the base. And if you look at the right, there's topology that's also different. So if I turn back on the B.1.7, you can see that it's taking up different space. Now there are some other things that are different, such as the if I turn off the base model, then you can see that some of the molecule is smaller. It's kind of coming in. So this is basically the areas that are changing relative to the base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be folding each one individually, each variant individually, doing a protein fold, and then looking at it in 3D to compare. So we have two areas that are different. Now, if I go back to the ribbon model, now sometimes this thing blows up because of the graphics card, but so if I turn that, this is the UK variant, and if I turn off or turn on the other area, you can see that there is this extra loop, and that is what you were seeing over on the far right. That's what you were seeing with the three-dimensional space rendering. And you can see that there is this additional space that the UK variant is taking up. And if I overlay that loop, this far loop on the right in the upper corner is the shape that causes that extra space. All right, now if I turn that off and turn the loop for the base model, the base model is it goes down a little bit. It kind of curls a little bit. And with that, you have the space that's occupying. So that structure slightly changed in that area when doing the rendering. And because of that, you have a different topology. All right. So the bottom line is that from the base model rendering of the spike protein monomer, comparing that to the UK variant, the main features that are different are in this area. There are some slight differences somewhere else, but you got to remember that some of the mutations with the NCBI data bank had some of the UK variants already in there. One of the key variants that was not in there was some of the deletions that are part of the UK variant, such as the 6170 deletion. But there was another deletion also, and that deletion was Y144. And this some of these areas are in the 144 region. So the key variations that are, or variants that are part of the B.1.1.7 is the A570D, the D614G, the D1118H, the H60 deletion, N501Y, P681H, 5982A, T716I, V70 deletion, and Y144 deletion. So now the next step in my next video will be comparing probably the Brazilian variant to the base model and the B.1.1.7 variant. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.